Patriotic comrades, hold on to your ackee and saltfish, because what's unfolding right now in Gordon House is pure political soap opera. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the People's National Party has officially declared no confidence in the Holness administration, why the role of Speaker of the House is now a national scandal, and why Andrew Holness is playing chess with pieces that keep toppling over. Stick around, because the drama between the PNP and the JLP is only getting hotter. But wait until you hear which two scandal-stained figures Holness just dragged back into cabinet. Spoiler alert. Super spoiler alert. Jamaicans already sent them packing once before. So, patriotic comrades, make we address this whole Speaker of the House issue once and for all. The role of Speaker of the House should be simple: an impartial referee, someone who keeps debates fair, balanced, and respectful. But in Jamaica, that seat has become less of a referee's chair and more like a front row ticket to partisan chaos. Enter Marisa Dalrymple-Philibert and Juliet Holness. Two names that makes the PNP cringe harder than watching a politician try dancehall moves on TikTok. The PNP, led by Dr. Angela Brown Burke, made it clear Jamaica cannot afford another partisan speaker who delays critical reports, hides documents, and bends rules to protect the ruling party. Because under the JLP's leadership, reports from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission didn't just take long. They practically gathered dust in Parliament. And here's the kicker: why would Holness insist on reappointing controversial figures when the public trust is already on life support? We'll get to that. But first, let's talk about the cabinet comebacks nobody saw coming. Quick poll in the comments: who do you trust more to protect Jamaica's democracy? PNP fighting for accountability, JLP recycling old faces? Drop your vote, plus tell me why in the comments below. The spiciest takes will get a shout out in the next video. Just when Jamaicans thought political accountability might actually mean something, Holness dust off the careers of two men who had already been forced to resign under clouds of scandal. Dr. Andrew Wheatley, yes, the same Wheatley who resigned in 2018 after the Petrojam and energy sector controversies. He's back, now in charge of science and technology, because apparently Jamaica's innovation strategy is recycling old politicians. Then there's Robert Montague. Remember him? He resigned in 2022 after an Integrity Commission report on the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA. Today, Holness has welcomed him back with open arms to manage land titles and settlements, because nothing says fresh leadership like politicians with baggage heavier than a returning resident at Sangster's airport. So while the PNP is saying no confidence in speakers who compromise Parliament, the JLP is busy promoting politicians who compromise the nation. Do you see the pattern yet? Real talk, do you think Holness bringing back Wheatley and Montague is a smart political move? Or straight up disrespect to Jamaicans? Sound off in the comments below. The PNP's message is clear. Jamaica cannot move forward if its parliament is run like a stage play where the actors keep repeating the same lines, hoping the audience forget the last act. Dr. Angela Brown Burke called it out directly. Parliament is supposed to be transparent, accountable, and trustworthy. Instead, under Holness's watch, it has become a revolving door for scandal, delay, and political theater. And here's the bigger question. If Holness is so confident in his administration, why does he keeps surrounding himself with people the Jamaican public already rejected? Why bring back Wheatley and Montague unless you believe Jamaicans will just shrug and move on? But this time the PNP isn't shrugging, they are standing firm. No Dalrymple, no Juliet Holness, no rubber stamp speakers. What Jamaica needs is an impartial voice, not a JLP echo chamber. And here's the wild part. What if Holness pushes ahead anyway? What if the next speaker becomes the biggest political liability heading into the third term? Because the PNP is already setting the stage for that fight. The PNP says no confidence. But do you think Jamaica can actually trust a new speaker? Comment yes if you believe change is possible. Comment no if you think it's the same old politics. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Quick recap. PNP declares no confidence in Holness's speaker choices. Angela Brown Burke slams delay in Integrity Commission and Auditor General reports. JLP drags back Wheatley and Montague despite past scandals. Parliament's trust and integrity under fire. So, patriotic comrades, we have a call that one here. Corruption enabling appointments. The quiet political return of Andrew Wheatley. So in 2018, Andrew Wheatley resigned under a cloud of corruption scandals and quietly reinstated to power in 2025. Jamaica's state-owned oil refinery Petrojam was at the center of one of the country's most high-profile corruption scandals. Under the oversight of Andrew Wheatley, the organization became a symbol of state capture. Financial irregularities, mismanagement, and politically motivated appointments plagued the institution. The Integrity Commission later revealed that several individuals were strategically appointed to the Petrojam board. These board members were later involved in key HR decisions and the approval of controversial donations, raising alarm bells about a corruption-enabling network under ministerial direction. Among the most troubling findings was the appointment of a former assistant. In truth, she was the mother of his nephew, a connection Wheatley failed to disclose. Her position, along with others, helped create a triangle of influence between HR leadership and board governance and political decision makers. The Integrity Commission raised serious concerns about politically influenced donations, lack of oversight mechanisms, and dubious board appointments, all pointing back to systematic failures under Wheatley's ministerial watch. Let me reiterate that one more time for emphasis. Under Wheatley's ministerial watch. In 2020, Wheatley sued the Integrity Commission in the Supreme Court, but the case was dismissed. The court affirmed that the commission was within its rights to describe Wheatley's conduct as dishonest and misleading. Despite these findings and zero accountability, Wheatley was quietly and I emphasize the word quietly, reinstated by Andrew Holness to oversee special projects without public vetting or transparency. Yeah, so that was Andrew Wheatley versus the Integrity Commission. So clearly we see the reinstatement of Wheatley and Montague, but no return of Marlene Malahoo Fort. That's very surprising. You see, me love how the PNP run out strong and dominant because what you know, patriotic comrades, we have talk now. We have talk. And I like what they are. You see me? When they could have bully and pass any bill, do whatever they feel like because we never have no say, we couldn't oppose nothing. We just, we just did a sit down and watch them do what them do. Now it is no longer business as usual. Hence, you see, them talk about how they want to work with the PNP. Them only say that for the cameras. Them know say there is no way them want to work with the PNP. You see me? Them really do not want to work with the PNP. They just say that. That's just, PR. So, patriotic comrades, let me just say this as plain and simple as I can. If you say Holness a recycle himself, much less, because Holness should have resigned long time ago from the whole Integrity Commission thing kick off, Zine, and he never resigned. So him a recycle himself, much less. You see me? So, expect say him a go recycle other people, worse if they ended loyal to him. You know, feel like he will recycle them, even though those people are riddled with them own political scandals. Remember, I know we are talking about a leader when I have no integrity, and we are talking about the entire Holness administration, that JLP party, this JLP party, when I have no integrity. So nothing should surprise you at this point from this party. See how they dry eye and bare face. Does it look like this wannabe dictator actually cares about where Jamaicans have to say or what they think? Just look into me and say, man, we are talking about people when I have no integrity. The moral compass not even a work. You understand? We are talking about people when afraid for thief one general election. Clean. I don't expect them, the people, if you have integrity and have some form of shame. No. We are talking about a government who sued the Integrity Commission. Both Wheatley and Holness sued the Integrity Commission. So don't be surprised if, even though we say a straight no confidence vote in a Holness wife and a Dalrymple-Philibert, don't be surprised if a still Juliet Holness is the Speaker of the House. So I don't understand. We see people make a big deal over Mark Golding not standing for Andrew Holness. One Marky G, one PNP. Big up yourself, Mark Jefferson Golding. Stand up for what? Stand for what? We have an illegitimate leader in the form of Andrew Holness. We have an illegitimate government in the form of a Holness administration. Stand up for what? Remember, everything what the Holness administration have done and get away with, had it been the PNP in power and do the same thing, JLP FM and all the JLP supporters would be outraged. In fact, me can go out Panalima and say they would act even worse than how we act. Because remember, say, when you talk about JLP and the JLP supporters, they are savages. So how we act and how we respond to Holness probably a child's play to how them other react and respond. You see me? So don't expect anything different from the JLP FM. Of course, they won't make a big deal. So Mark Golding sat when everybody else stand up for Holness. Marky G, a general. You cannot respect a prime minister and a government that has no integrity. Under this Holness administration, in entire 2 terms, Jamaica has become one drug capital. You see me? Jamaica have their own version of a yardman El Chapo. Jamaica have their own yardman version of a Pablo Escobar. You see me? Yeah man, Jamaica become one big Diet Coke capital. Thanks to Trump, I call out the Holness administration, as me say in the previous video. We just wish Trump did drop the report there 1 month ago. Why you drop it after the man rig and undermine the September 3rd, 2025 election? You see me? An election that they stole. So, no confidence in the entire Holness administration. You see me? Yes, me not have no confidence in this Holness administration. It's just more of the same. So expect corruption, scandals upon top of scandals upon top of scandal in this third term. This illegitimate third term. Yes, it's the more of the same. Nothing now go change. Remember, Jamaica is not a serious country, so all these little dunce people we are run up their mouth every minute. These JLP supporters in America, in Canada, in England, those countries have them own corruption same way. Them the country there for them politics no clean, but guess what? Public perception matters in those countries. Public trust matters in those countries. So guess what? Even though for them politics and government have their own form of corruption, once your name call up on anything, you have to resign permanently. You have to leave politics permanently. You don't get to sit down in on a backbench. You see me? And still be a part of politics. Still actively be a part of politics. And a run in a general elections for member of parliament. You're supposed to probably there in a the private sector somewhere, or you have your own business where you run, but you can't see nor smell back the doors of Garden House ever again. So the Holness administration, we put a big no confidence on the Holness administration, with a big question sign on the Holness administration. So nothing now go change, more of the same. And you now go hear JLP FM say, but those returning faces are very, questionable and it no look good. The optics of that don't look good. Them the man they have their own scandals upon them where they force them to resign. Because if it never that bad and public pressure never come down upon the Holness administration, they wouldn't resign. A public pressure and the whole optics force the resignation. And now they wait till when time pass and things cool down and feel like the Jamaican people with them. No, the Jamaican people never with you. Remember, y'all had to stole this election to win it. As me said, the JLP love delusionally gaslight themselves for believe what them want to believe. So you appointing Wheatley and Montague back in a Garden House, that could never look good. But when somebody believes that they can do what they want and get away with whatever they want, so then I can behave, wanna be dictator, you can't tell them nothing. So I question the intelligence of anybody who support this Holness administration, because had it been the PNP I do everything what Holness I do, these same people would not be saying the same thing. Actually, they would be having the opposite view, but people are just naturally hypocrites. The JLP FM, the JLP bloggers and supporters, they are just one big hypocrites. For them party can do no wrong. You see, the die-hard thing is what is mashing up Jamaica. Yeah, the die-hard thing. When you die-hearted to your party, you don't hold your party accountable. You support all the corruption. You support all the scandals. You see me? You support all the red flags. And then you wonder why you suffer when you go to hospital. Yes, because corruption. Too much money I get stolen from taxpayers, and that's why the health sector is poorly underfunded. But I wanna say, I wanna choose Jamaica, so anything I wanna get, I wanna deserve. Anything I wanna get, I wanna work for. Anything I wanna get, I wanna choose. But this third term is going to be a very interesting third term. As me say, strange enough how me no see nobody a hold Andrew Holness accountable with bringing back a Wheatley and a Montague, but everybody quick for talk about how Marky G never stand up. No, don't be surprised when Royal Reid bus theme case. Don't be surprised. Welcomed back in the JLP. Now, what I want to know is what did happen to that $50 million there? Was that $50 million recovered? or is still missing and just vanishing a thin air? Remember, 15% of witnesses missing in Royal Reed trial. So maybe them 15 witnesses there are the key witnesses where the trial need. And if a them vanish, remember the man party in a one third term, he have to bust the case. Why I don't think the Royal Reed trial drawn out so long? He have to bust the case. I did a reason with some brethren. You see me and them talk about Royal Reed get sink. Me I say get what kind of witch sink? You never see that happening in Jamaica yet. You never see no politician go jail and prison yet. And me say to them say, uno no see the man party get a third term. What kind of sink you not talk about? Man how bust this a case and come back right in a God knows. Yeah man, just look out for Royal Reed come back in the future. Uno no see Wheatley and Montague come back. Does it look like this Prime Minister, this Holness administration have any form of integrity or shame about them? Uno no see a dictatorship style this a man ya rule with in do what he want as he want. He no care about political optics. He no care how bad and terrible it looks. It's like a big FU to the Jamaican people when you see a point back a Wheatley and a Montague, because in no serious country could that ever happen. At this point, this Holness administration is one whole mess. I guess you can call it the whole mess administration. First and foremost, Holness was unqualified to be on the ballot in the first place. This man's statutory declaration as the Prime Minister, two-term Prime Minister, now three-term Prime Minister, statutory declaration was not certified year after year by the watchdog body, the Integrity Commission. And surprisingly, I don't know why people never did a shout loud, especially from the mainstream media, for his resignation. Why would never ask him if he not think this is a strong reason for him resign? Those are legitimate questions where reporters from the mainstream media are supposed to ask Holness. He take the Integrity Commission to court, he sue them, he might try strike down things out of the Integrity Commission Act, specifically as it relates to investigating politicians for illicit enrichment, and I try stop the Integrity Commission from having access to third-party information, banking information like third-party like wife, son, mother, father, and other relatives and friends. Because we know a politician can use them to hide the illicit enrichment money with them launder. And with all of that, we don't get no overwhelming pressure from the mainstream media. Well, we know we're not going to get that from JLP FM. Them now tell Holness say, you don't think you should resign with all of these dark clouds of allegations and accusations where hang over your head of corruption scandals. Then I ask him say if he not thinking for resign, but then want ask Marky G say him for resign because then thief election for Marky G. And guess what? If you thief for election for me not go stand up and support your illegitimate inauguration and swearing in ceremony where me I go stand up for with everybody. Me not support your illegitimacy. So me find it strange that the JLP FM reporter asked Marky G about resignation. Why you never go ask Holness about resignation with all like corruption scandals where hang over your head along with him party? You know say Tufton remains as health minister. Tufton should be removed as the health minister because him have his own set of scandals over the health ministry. Uno no see nothing wrong with that. The media no see nothing wrong with Tufton keep his position as the worst health minister in the history of Jamaica. Tufton is not a good health minister. Because I was actually surprised to say Tufton, remained as health minister for the third term. That but the thing say, going into the third term, Tufton not supposed to be no health minister. He did a terrible job. But you cannot expect a whole mess administration to have any form of, integrity, morals, principle. Those words are absent from a whole mess administration, absent from their very vocabulary. So let's sum this up. The PNP says no confidence in the Holness administration's choice for Speaker. Dalrymple-Philibert and Juliet Holness are seen as partisan, not impartial. Holness brought back Wheatley and Montague two politicians Jamaicans already rejected, and Parliament's integrity hanging by a thread. Now here's the real question. Will Jamaicans accept recycled leadership or demand something better? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Should Holness be recycling politicians with scandal attached, or is the PNP right to stand firm? And if you enjoyed this breakdown of Jamaica's political soap opera, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, because trust me, the next chapter in this saga is coming and you will want to be here when it drops.